By 1961, Marilyn Monroe was a screen goddess and had firmly established her place in history as Hollywood's greatest icon. At the same time, Jackie Kennedy had just moved into the White House.
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
But behind closed doors, Marilyn had been conducting an illicit affair with the President, Jack Kennedy.
Jackie was aware of Marilyn and her involvement with her husband. Of that, I have no doubt. And she was concerned about it and probably jealous.
But with Jackie's new position as First Lady in the White House, she finally had the chance to carve out her own place in history. Jackie started by completely restoring the White House, and a year later presented her finished project to the nation on television. But Marilyn's affair with her husband was clearly having an effect.
What's your basic plan?
Well, I really don't have one, because I think this house will always grow and should. It just seemed to me such a shame when we came here to find hardly anything of the past in the house.
When I watched the tour through the White House, I really laughed because I had met Jackie. My husband had dated Jackie Kennedy, and I had met her several times, and when I met her, she didn't have that voice, and I thought, whoa, I mean, she just loves Marilyn Monroe, and she's copied the voice.
Well, Jackie tended to keep a lot to herself, but she did confide to Dr. Frank Finnerty, who was her secret therapist over the course of the Kennedy presidency, and she talked to him about many things, but it also included her awareness of Kennedy's womanizing. She mostly wanted him to know that she wasn't oblivious to it, that she was well aware of it.
Marilyn Monroe's success as a movie star had resulted in global fame. But with equal ambition, Jackie had also become a global icon for her looks and her style.
On a state visit with her husband to President de Gaulle, Mrs. Kennedy became the toast of Paris.
I do not think it altogether inappropriate to introduce myself to this audience. I am the man who accompanied Jacqueline Kennedy to Paris, and I've enjoyed it.
Well, her style was simple, it was elegant. You have to remember that at the time a lot of women were running around wearing big skirts and puffy sleeves, and she just knew what looked well on her.
I think what makes her an icon is that she's totally unique. She had this incredible image and style that she knew how to use. She knew she would be a player on the world stage once she was First Lady, and so she took the best advantage of it. But I think she's an icon because her image and style was not just limited to the way that she dressed. She also behaved as beautifully as she dressed.
Jackie had succeeded in matching Marilyn Monroe as a global star, but Marilyn still had a hold over her husband. Marilyn told friends that she often called the president at work, disrupting his busy schedule.
Marilyn had a very private number at the White House on Jack Kennedy's desk. When she wanted to call him, she'd pick up the telephone and dial the number, and it would ring right there in front of him.
But to add insult to injury, Marilyn told friends that when Jackie was away, she carried on her affair under the presidential roof.
Marilyn told me that she had visited the White House when Jackie was away on a trip to Europe. Not only the White House, but on a presidential plane.
JFK introduced her to the crew of Air Force One. She was wearing a brunette wig and I think glasses. And he introduced her as Peter Lawford's private secretary. And as soon as the plane took off, they both joined the 1 Mile High Club.
Marilyn's relationship with Jack seemed unstoppable. But the movie star was feeling the strain of the Hollywood spotlight, global obsession, and an affair with the American president.
She got addicted to champagne and sleeping pills. I was addicted to sleeping pills at the same time she was, and it's not something you get over easily.
Marilyn finally collapsed and was forced to spend 2 weeks in a Californian psychiatric hospital. In her vulnerable condition, she'd started to insist to friends that she was going to marry the president.
Well, she told me that Jack Kennedy told her that when he got out of the presidency, which he thought would be the next term, that he would like to consider marrying her. And he had proposed marriage in an indirect way. And that boosted her ego quite a bit.
Increasingly